with last Thursday's SmackDown going off the air with over 8 million viewers watching the conclusion of the Ric Flair-Vince McMahon segment, with the idea that the NWO arrival is now imminent after Flair, with Austin's interference, went back on his decision to sell his stock to McMahon to prevent him from bringing in the NWO to instead turn on him and rip up the contract to remain in control of half of the company. Flair was the first to comment to open the broadcast, saying that he has had second thoughts all week but he stands by the decision he made on Thursday, building up Vince's follow-up response in a hyped segment set for later tonight. Triple H opened Raw with him calling out Kurt Angle for an impromptu match after Angle laid him out with a post-match beatdown after a tag with Rock and Taker last Thursday, with Booker coming out instead saying that he beat Hunter last Monday and can do it again tonight, kicking off the show in the 4 rating range with the Hunter-Booker rematch going 3 minutes until Kurt Angle ran in to lay out Hunter for the DQ finish, setting up the post-match angle with Hunter looking for Kurt backstage, followed by him announcing behind security that Vince booked them for the No Way Out pay-per-view, with Hunter's WrestleMania title shot on the line after both were the final 2 in the Rumble match, with Angle also making headlines in another way during the week inside the company and the hardcore audience by being involved in another high-profile match. As in an interview on the WWF website, Angle commented on a highly anticipated match in the WWF that recently took place hours before a TV taping started, with Angle and OVW rookie Brock Lesnar facing off in a shoot wrestling match, as with Kurt previously hearing Brock saying that he can take him in a shoot due to his size advantage, with Brock outweighing Kurt by over 70 pounds. Angle, who challenged Brock several times before, took the opportunity to force him into it with Brock in the ring, with Big Show to signal to Show to get out to set up the Angle-Lesnar match, ending up with them going around 15 minutes, with Kurt winning a close decision after reportedly taking down Brock once or twice, with Kurt, when asked about the talked-about match, saying that he underestimated Brock while despite still winning the match, giving him credit saying that he was better than he thought, with him being a tremendous athlete at over 300 pounds, while noting that he has not wrestled for 5 years and is currently not in his prime conditioning, but adding that if he gets back into Olympic shape he will dominate Brock far worse no matter how much he weighs, saying that there's a big difference between a national champion and an Olympic champion, and he routinely ate up wrestlers Brock's size, with Angle known for barely cutting weight before his big matches, including most famously winning the Olympic gold by weighting far below the 220-pound limit, starting to build up big anticipation for the inevitable Angle vs Lesnar program in the inside audience even before Brock made his TV debut, with Lesnar targeted along with Randy Orton as the 2 highly rated prospects to be major players in the next several years, with Raw after the opening quarter picking up over 1 million viewers throughout the hour, with 2 matches of a triple team tag titles match that saw Taz and Spike retaining in Van Dam vs Bubba Dudley, followed by a post-match angle of Goldust making his Raw return to start a Van Dam vs Goldust feud, along with a Taker promo responding to Rock getting him back on SmackDown, with him and Jericho hyping up the main event tag match against Austin and Rock in an hour. After being turned on by Flair and Austin in the contract signing last Thursday, Vince McMahon was out next for what became the usual Raw time slot for the highly rated Flair-McMahon segments in the past few weeks during the 9:45 quarter leading into the crossover into 10 p.m., as Vince came out at 9:51 p.m. responding to Flair's actions, with the repercussions of him now about to unleash the NWO in the near future, recapping the contract signing last Thursday, which continued the string of strong McMahon-Flair segments with near-record viewership, as the segment placed in the main event quarter to close SmackDown saw it peaking the night with a 4.8 rating and over 8.2 million viewers, setting up McMahon's response tonight calling out Flair to the ring, calling Flair a liar, saying that he never planned to sell his stock as he doesn't really care about the future of the company but only selfishly about Ric Flair, not wanting to give up his spot with him now for the first time in his career, standing side by side with McMahon in a position of power, leading to Flair citing the fans as the reason for him changing his mind on the decision with McMahon, who up until now didn't specify who it is in detail while only promoting the NWO name and logo, finally dropped the bomb exactly at 10 p.m. showing Hogan, Hall and Nash while mentioning them for the first time to a big reaction, making it their first appearance back on WWF television in 6 to 9 years, with the footage of the three original NWO members strategically shown exactly at the usual channel pickup spot at the top of the hour to hook any potential viewers switching channels on the night, with the McMahon-Flair segment peaking the night again with a 4.7 rating to close it, with McMahon officially advertising the NWO to debut at the No Way Out pay-per-view in 2 weeks. With the company now starting to advertise the names, with Hulk Hogan in particular being heavily promoted in a statement issued by the WWF to cable companies, as in addition to announcing all pay-per-view prices to rise by $5 from $29.95 to $34.95 starting in April from the Backlash pay-per-view. The WWF, similar to last year, hyped WrestleMania 18 to be a 4-hour pay-per-view event at an increased price, building it as the biggest wrestling event in history, with Hogan specifically mentioned in the company statement, noting that Hogan will soon make his return to the WWF to be the centerpiece of WrestleMania 18, with Hogan while doing a radio interview last Wednesday, kicking off the build-up to his said WrestleMania opponent by taking a shot at Rock, saying that he's going to beat him like he did his father Rocky Johnson, as with negotiations between all sides taking place for the last 5 months. Rock, who made his return on the night after a week off Raw with a backstage promo singing Viva Rock Vegas to a massive ovation from the crowd, unlike the majority of the established WWF performers, welcomed the NWO arrival, with him reportedly being offered by McMahon the all-time dream match against Hogan late last year, months before Hulk has officially signed with the company, with the previously unthinkable clash now just weeks away. Raw had another major angle taking place just before the main event, with Stephanie calling Triple H out to the ring after hyping a major announcement during the first hour, asking Hunter to renew their wedding vows next Monday on Raw, to instead see him confronting her on the McMahons always wanting to do everything in front of the world to tease the eventual turn, ending up with her revealing to be pregnant in a storyline twist, with Hunter selling it big to set up the ceremony next week. And with wedding segments traditionally one of the most proven rating-drawing segments in wrestling TV history, the company will target a massive audience boost for the wedding angle next Monday, with Raw in the same quarter also seeing a title change, with Jazz going over Trish in a 4-minute match to win the women's title. The entrances for the Big Star Power Rock and Austin vs. Taker and Jericho tag main event took up most of the final quarter following the final commercial break, and with Jericho now the favorite to go into WrestleMania with the undisputed title, with Rock and Austin set to be occupied with a big NWO angle coming up, Jericho made a talked-about appearance in the hockey NHL Celebrity All-Star Game last Wednesday in LA, and with him facing off in the match tonight against two of the three new megastars created in the recent Monday Night Tours boom period, the big talking point ended up being a confrontation with the third, as Bill Goldberg was the assistant coach of the opposing team, ending up with them shooting an angle with Jericho looking to start a fight, taunting the opposition team to see Goldberg lifting him up and sitting him on the bench. Rock and Austin vs Jericho and Taker went 13 fast-paced minutes in the main event, going 8 minutes into the overrun, set up to be outside of the big attraction of the NWO debut. The two top matches of the No Way Out pay-per-view in the ring with Austin vs Jericho for the title and Rock vs Taker in the transitional feud, ending up with Taker getting Rock back after laying him out with a rock bottom through the announcer's table last Thursday, hitting him with a pipe shot to the head for him and Jericho to go over, with Rock after the big SmackDown taping tomorrow at the sold-out Staples Center in LA due to movie shooting commitments not scheduled for any more TV appearances until the pay-per-view, with the match picking up viewers throughout, bumping Raw back up to a joint peak 4.7 rating.